Hi, welcome back to Box Delights and welcome to the City of Kings playthrough. It's Shara'S turn. Let's see what she does. Let's take two actions and move and explore. Movement's at 2, remember? So we can move 1, 2 and then explore. Let's see what we get. This is the Hiziki Caravans. This is a shop. So now we've got somewhere we can go and buy equipment. It's quite close to the City of Kings, one movement away, so it saves us an action, I guess, from getting all the way back there. It's probably out of our way here, but you know, our heroes are going to be out trying to explore, trying to gain XP, so I guess that's cool. The other good thing is when the shop tile is revealed, you draw 3 equipment and place them in the trade district. We've got a helm, the Helm of Sir Prickles, a head item, the Sea Maiden's gown, a body item, and Constantine's Revenge, a legs item. Legs and body items can be worn straight away, so that's pretty good. Not too resource heavy either. A good way to level up some stats. Okay, what next? I kind of wish I'd upgraded my workers' movement twice to 3, but it isn't, so let's move twice. That shop didn't really help us, did it? I was thinking, I was kind of hoping that we'd move around this way, have this worker go this way, but I think this one's going to go up to the Moon Lake as well, so 1, 2, then 1. Right, let's begin the next round. So we move the timer up. Nothing's happening. There's no poison on the map. And we go back to the turn of Brutus the Broken. Remove his action tokens from here. I think the first thing we're going to do is interact. We're going to get another quest. Let's draw a quest card. Let's see what we get. The Greenacre Herd. It says Stonecastle Paddock trained the best horses in the world, I tell you. House Greenacre managed to bring a family of the wild southern plains breed all the way back. You know how funny Greenacre is about his horses, all a bit elvish if you ask me. Some of the best horse bloodlines ever seen, and now a monster is stealing the foals every night. There's 2 options here. We can either travel to Stonecastle Paddock and set up a creature and defeat it, or we can give that creature an extra hard ability. This red square refers to one of these hard abilities and defeat it. We don't know where Stonecastle Paddock is, but it will be one of these red tiles up here. Alright, I think it's time to make our worker do something. Let's have our worker work. Our worker is on a resource tile, so that means we're going to gather. The gather stat is 1, so we're going to roll 1 die. What we're hoping for is 3 fish. This is possible. There's a 3 on there, there's a 1, there's a 1. This attention side means we're making too much noise. So there's 2 1s, a 3 and a 2. Alright, let's see how we do. It's a 2. Hey, that's pretty good. Not bad. 3 would have been better, but 2's good. 2's good. Nice rolling. So we're going to take 2 fish and we're going to put them here in the worker 1 spot. And I think we can take another gamble and work again. Should we do that? Let's do that. It's interesting, obviously, if I increase my gather stat, which I could have easily done, I'll roll 2 dice. Yeah, I've increased my chances of getting the attention of a monster, but for creature. But hey, let's stick with it. Let's gather again. We're not upgrading. We're not generating that economy if we do this. I think we've got to. Let's do that. Yeah. And it's a 1. You've got to play this cleverly, and it's hard to know what are the right decisions. But there we go. We've gathered 1 more fish. That's 3 fish in the worker, and I've got an action left. We can carry a maximum of 6. resources here. So we could stay, or I could bring them back. But what I think I'm going to do is actually move Brutius up. I think that's the right thing to do. Okay. Alright, so Shara'S turn now. What do? We make a worker work, first off. And she does have a gather 2 stat. Okay, so 2 dice. Let's see what happens. What happens is we get a dreadful roll. We get 1 fish, and the attention has been grabbed of a creature. So a 4th would be placed, but instead we're going to place a creature here. That's not great news, that was a terrible roll. Okay. Some good luck mixed with bad. Now in terms of creatures, you've got a whole bunch of tokens. Now, not these ones that are named with extra stats, we'll put those to the side, but there's a whole bunch of templates, and it really doesn't matter which one you choose. This is all about just, going with what you fancy or picking it random. It doesn't matter, it's just a name, So we'll go for the Spleen Rippers. Nice, the skilled in the art of disembowelment, several limbs and the death of 1,000 cuts. These grim human warriors are feared as the executioners for Vesh's many prisons. Alright, so we're going to grab a creature, and this is going to go with Sashara because she activated it, or she found it. And the Spleen Rippers need a stat bar, and this is where we use these tokens here. We start at the top. Remember, this was determined by our scenario. It said start with creature stat bar number 1 first. Alright, so we grab creature stat bar number 1. They're going to get harder as the deck goes through. So I knew that the easiest creature was going to be the first one we found, and that's fine. I wanted it to be the Moon Lake. I was cautious about finding other creatures. It could have been a 2. We could have found a creature here or elsewhere. But here we go, 1 by 1. That's kind of worked okay. And this stat bar goes with the Spleen Splitters, right? And that creates our creature, all right? Let's have a look at these stats and see what they mean. First thing we do is check its health stat. It starts with health of 3, so we take one of these health trackers and place it on the 3. Next we generate its abilities. This says it gets 1 green ability. We've got hard, we've got medium, and we've got easy. So at random we're going to draw a green ability. Okay, so we never know what these Spleen Splitters are going to be capable of. Let's see what we get. Okay, green circle. In this case, the green circle represents knockback. What this tells us is there's a reference guide for all these abilities. When this creature attacks, it's got knockback 2. The priority target is pushed back 2 tiles. That's really going to mess with us here, right? The other thing we should do is check the tile. Some tiles are more dangerous than others, and some tiles will have or grant extra abilities to the creatures that dwell there. There's nothing up on the Moon Lake tile. But what we should do is grab a banner as well. Let's probably do this first. Just look for the banner that corresponds to the creature that you've chosen. This banner, this war banner, goes to show us that's where they're currently standing. The other abilities on here, this sword here says that it has a basic 1 attack. It then has an attack all. Any on all heroes within range, its range is 2, will suffer 1 damage. And defeating this creature will give the players 2 XP. Now our workers are a bit tied up now because this creature means workers can't move, they can't work. And we've got 3 actions left, but with movement of only 2, Sashara can't get up there and defend, so we're going to have to wait another turn. But that's alright, let's move on. Let's move and explore with Sashara, because we're trying to open up the way to the east. So we're going to move in here. And what she's found is the boss switch grounds. This is a stable. Nothing happens here, but what heroes can do is if they interact with a stable, then they can teleport to another stable or back indeed to the City of Kings. Don't really want to do that, do I? No, so it feels like we've kind of wasted an action now. We can't attack, we can't do a special. We could interact and move back here, but do we really want to? I don't think so. And our workers are tied up. So unfortunately we're going to have to move to the next round. Things now are about to get very interesting because as you can see on our player turn, the first thing we can do is activate creatures, but there's no creatures on Brutius. The creature is on Shara'S. And that's good because that means Brutius gets to attack first. Ask questions later. So let's recover his action tokens and we're going to take an attack. He has a range of 1. With a range of 1 we can reach across 1 tile. So we're here at range 0. We're good, we're in range. Then we look at our attack stat. Attack stat is 2. We're going to do 2 damage. We get to add any bonuses from any skills and so on. We've got no bonuses. And then we get to roll a luck die equal to our luck. Our luck is 0, so we don't get to roll any luck dice. So we're doing 2 damage to the Spleen Rippers. We reduce that by any shields they have. No shields here, so they're down to 1 health. And with only 1 health left, if we attack again, we know for sure these Spleen Rippers are defeated. So we get rid of these, and we're going to take the XP that's rewarded. It's 2 XP. We'll remove its war banner, and we'll place its ability, its knockback ability, back in the bag. Alright, so we planned ahead a little bit and managed to do, take out that creature before it did any damage. Some creatures have death abilities, they trigger when they die. And of course, we're looking at these higher level creatures and bosses. Right, we've used 2 actions, but we've gotten rid of that creature and gained 2 XP. And this time, we're going to move up to level 3, and there's a different icon here. This flat orange disc here represents a skill token. Each player takes a skill token. We'll take 1 for Brutius and 1 for Shara'S. And this is where we use our skill trees here. Our skill trees have tiers. This is tier 1 at the bottom, tier 2, tier 3. The first skill upgrade you take must always be from the bottom row of tier 1 in one of these 3 slots. There's a line leading up from the bottom of your player map to show you this. So one of these 3 slots. And then connected to each of these is a solid line. This forms a tree, a path through your skill tree. The next upgrade you take must be adjacent to an already placed skill token. So from here I could perhaps go into here next. But from here, it only leads back here. Alright, so I couldn't go down here and then up here. There's no line connecting these 2, or from here up here. But I can from here progress in other directions, upwards for example. And at this point, once I've filled the top row of a tier, this is when we head over to the temple and grab one of these skill cards. So we might grab this one here. It gets replenished from the draw deck. And this fills in the next tier up. And then from here I can progress once more on my skill tree, like so. Okay. Let's choose a skill for Brutius first. So at the start, what we can do is increase our range. And then we have these 2 other special actions. This is an interact action, this is a special. This one says Crown of Radiance. Anytime during a creature's attack, if you're in range, you become the priority target. So we can say, attack me! This one says ignore. Remove 1 attention token from 1 tile in range. I quite like that one. Increasing our range though might be a good option and allow us to move upwards here. So I think I'm going to do this. And increase Brutus's range 1 spot. It's still only 1. we've gone up the track 1 spot from the lower one to the upper one. So 1 more upgrade and then we get to 2. I'm going to do the same for Shara'S, but this time I think we're going to go up this side next to Leap and Cure Poison. So Leap says after a basic attack damages you, we can move to an adjacent tile, so we can kind of leap around, and Cure Poison does what it says. Alright, so I'm going to go here and increase the range by 1. Next up I'm going to have a worker work. I was tempted to move across, see if we could complete that quest while the monster levels are still low. I could still do that. But let's see what happens. I mean, I could bring the worker back and deliver those fish also, and that would at least let me to level up 1 palace here. But I think it's more economic to just keep loading up until we're full. Let's see. We're going to work with 1 gather. It's just 1 fish. But that's okay, we've got 4 in there now. 4 fish. I could work again and get some more. I could try and XP a little bit more. I think I'm going to move Brutius and try and XP. So we've got move 2, haven't we? I don't think we need him here at the moment. Let's see if we can complete that quest. So Shara'S Turn. We're also going to start by working our workers up here at the Moon Lake as well. So let's roll 2 dice. She's got 2 gather. Wow, that's more like it. Whoa, what a roll. That's 5 fish gathered. Wow, we got room because we only got 1 last time. Fantastic. Well, we're definitely moving. I think we're going to move twice. So this worker movement is 2. Incidentally, if I want to increase my number of workers and open up this second worker, I need to move any one of these stats to the 4 level. There's a different colour here to indicate this. The second worker might well be valuable in this scenario. So that's 1, 2, and then back to the City of Kings. Now we're back in the City of Kings, we automatically unload all these resources that we've gathered. And all we need to do, there's 6 fish here, was put 1 fish on the 6th spot and put these back in the supply. And that's pretty good because next time Brutius can upgrade. He's standing there waiting on the Shrine of the Hidden Sun, and there's 6 fish here, we only need 3. That's a good job. Alright, so I think with our next action we're going to move Shara'S over here. So let's move. Ending the turn there. Alright, that's all we can do. It's now the evening of the first day. Let's think about what we want Brutius to do. Do we want him to travel? Do we get our workers gathering more? I think we should definitely try and move them again. But perhaps we can level up before we get there. The game's presenting us with lots of options here, and we've got to think about what we want to do next.